Wavicle is an award-winning data and analytics company based in Chicago with a national presence. As a provider of award-winning cloud data, analytics, and AI solutions and services, Wavicle combines deep technical expertise and industry knowledge with the proprietary automation tools to support the rapid shift to modern data architectures, real-time insights, and AI. Wavicle Data Solutions is proud to grow through almost 100% referral. With solid delivery reputability, proudly leveraging the ability to meet clients where they are to unlock the power of data. Wavicle Data Solutions.
Hello, and welcome to Tag Data Talk with Beverly Wright. Today, I'm with Hua Ai from Delta Air Lines. She's General Manager of Predictive Modeling, and we're talking about reducing barriers to complex data science entry by leveraging AI. Thanks for being here, Hua.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's start off with a little background. I know that everybody at Delta thinks you're super cool. So tell us, why are you so cool?
Well, look at my last name.
Exactly.
It's exactly how I got into grad school.
Yeah, with the last name like AI, working in AI.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you pronounce it as letter I. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should change my name to Beverly Data Science or something.
It's been a fantastic journey with Delta. I've been with the company for 6 years. I lead a data science team and embedded in the operations side of the house. So if you see the airline, there's like the commercial side where they figure out pricing, revenue management, very complex revenue management system for the airlines.
Of course.
And on the operations side, we run the flight schedule. We make sure that every flight will get out on time with bags with great customer service.
Love it.
So my team look into if things are delayed, what do we do? Given the weather, do we expect a delay? And how can we get proactive and to serve our customers to get them where they need to be?
Well, I'm a big fan. I really like Delta and I like to fly Delta. So what did you do before Delta?
I did some consulting work. I was curious where is the best place to work in Metro Atlanta.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
consulting is a quick way to find that out. So I had fun with a lot of great clients in the Atlanta area and different account teams, all that. And then I just found a place to settle.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, there are a lot of great employers. I mean, I kind of did my rounds too.
Yep.
So this reducing barriers to complex data science by leveraging AI, this is kind of like AI for all. It's sort of like the vision. This is the dream, AI is going to help with all these sorts of things. So let's start off with when we talk about AI helping reduce barriers to data science, are there specific types of data science work where AI makes more sense? Like what kinds of data science work can leverage AI more effectively?
Right, totally. I first kind of want to make a comment that AI is a very generalized term.
Yes.
It means different things to different people.
True.
And nowadays, especially generative AI, I've had people talk to me like, hey, wow, we have generative AI models that can help you to forecast. And when we talk more, I was like, okay, so what you really mean is a forecasting model trained by big data and has some pre-trained phase where you can transform whatever model that you learned to a new problem. It's not the NLP type of generative AI or vision recognition type of cognitive AI system that people talk about.
Yeah.
So I find that to be pretty interesting. Now it's just AI is the general term of anything machine learning, analytics, or whatever that you throw into the data science fields that now it's under AI. So
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That's pretty interesting. But I think to your point, your specific talk about the type of systems that help the data scientists to do their work faster. If you think about data science workflow, right? if someone call you and say, hey, Beverly, could you help me to think through like analytic solutions to this problem? You probably need to understand their business processes first. What exactly they're trying to solve, what metric they're trying to optimize.
Right.
And then you start from there, you collect data, you understand their processes. Once you actually have the data in one place, then you sit down and do your, like data impute, cleansing data, engineer your features, modeling process and all that. And once you get some numbers, you'll get back to your client to kind of review the model performance and see how do you interpret those and see how they really like it. Is it good enough or not? You go back to your desk and to your computer and do more. So there's a lot going into the data science practice. And it means different scope if you are at different company. I think there are definitely a lot of steps that can get accelerated, amplified, and scaled by technology. And it's not a scary thing at all. We're already doing it. Like who claims they don't have Stack Overflow open while they are on their notebooks? You're already actively using technology, using knowledge out there on the internet to help you to build better models, to do things better. What if it's more convenient? What if you have a copilot? There are a lot of entry-level tasks that can be largely automated. For example, data cleansing, feature engineering, model tuning, model selection. Those are tools. There are a lot of tools that can help data scientists to do that more effectively.
I see. Okay, so the process that you just described sounds a lot like the scientific method applied to model building. You know, you've once you've identified a problem, you go through these steps all the way to solution development and communicating to the client, right? What about the other sort of window dressing, kind of the outskirts of the model? Because data science and AI really is more than just the model building. There's all this other stuff. You know, so can you speak to that a little bit? Can AI help with some of those things, like understanding the business context and framing the problem and all that?
Yeah, I've actually heard about the use case another day that when a company that does image recognition first introduced their technology to a hospital, they first thought about what if they can use the new technology to help to read X-ray and to add into the diagnosis. But when they work more with the AI solution companies, they actually find out that there's a piece that's very available to be used to use the AI technology to collect patient history right there. And they totally transformed the use cases from a much higher entry point that some people may not feel comfortable to know that right now you can use machines to read X-rays, even if we can assure them, it still will be kind of signed off by an expert, but people might have different kind of opinions about whether you should do that or not. But they, after knowing what AI solutions can do, they actually find a better way of using the AI technology. I think that's going to happen in a lot of data science field. First of all, you probably only be confident that to use the technology to deal with a lot of the technical aspect of it. But once that people understand a bit more of what automation can do for them, what AI solutions can do for them, there is a lot of opportunity, for example, to understand the background of the project, to understand the history. There might be a lot of the data that's already been collected, but under a different project, under a different context. How do you tie these different pieces together? And especially when we use machine learning more in an enterprise concept, you're not just talking about one model, you're talking about a forest of models. So how do you keep up with the different models that different teams are building? Are you putting another kind of programming organization architecture on top of it? Or do you leverage AI to know that, oh, this model has been developed by this team and all this has been stored in a knowledge base that now by talking to an AI system, you can easily know what are the models they're building, what's the background, what are use cases, whether that's kind of related to your use cases or not, so you can be more targeted.
I see.
Then to connect with other teams that are doing similar things.
Yeah. Do you think there's a stronger appetite for certain types of tasks for AI to enable? Like, I'm not really as much hands-on keys anymore, except for some of my nonprofit stuff. But I can tell you right now that if I could get rid of data engineering, I would, right? Like, we all just want to build models. We don't want to like spend all that time doing all the janitorial. So there's probably an appetite there. But are there certain pieces that you feel the data science and AI community is going to say, like, no, don't take that from the humans. That needs to stay with us. And other things that are just like, oh, please take it.
I think the amazing part of this is this experience can be very personalized.
Oh.
So think about it, you have an assistant, and it will take whatever part that's not exciting for you.
Right.
Because there are engineers out there that they
Love
just want to
doing
make
it.
want to make sure
Clean
they
data all
build
day.
the most solid and robust things that they can
Yes.
ever build. They think actually like the modeling process is pretty standard because you're not inventing a new model. You are applying someone else's invention, right? The Google come up with the transformer technology, but it's really the application that's been standing out and taking the company to the success.
Yeah.
So some people will focus on scaling up machine learning solutions and very standard mature solutions. I think it more as a personalized experience. Like if you love to understand basic processes and don't care so much about come up with a quick model overnight, you can have your AI technology to help you to do that. If you are the engineers, you pick the fun part that you want. If you're a scientist, you can pick your focus part. I know we have a lot of diversity and inclusion discussions nowadays. I think this technology is so profound that it's going to change how we think about, it's going to change our relationship with knowledge and our relationship with our tools. Back in the days, you think you possess a knowledge. You go to school for years to possess that piece of knowledge. But nowadays, maybe you more think of it as a ad hoc, like you borrow a piece of knowledge because you are in this domain, you're in this use case today, and that's something that you're interested about. You can become a so-called expert very quickly using AI, using the assistance of AI, and do something interesting, do something that's beneficial for your solutions. But then you can jump out of it and do something else. I think this technology is going to reset, re-level set a lot of the entry requirement for jobs.
Yeah, and that leads me into the next piece, which was, does this change the skills that we're going to need? But let me just back up for a second, because you said something really profound in that AI has the potential to change our relationship with knowledge itself. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying instead of sort of being required to hold this knowledge in ourselves and like learn and absorb and keep it in like, okay, I'm ready. I have all this knowledge. It's going to be less about that and more about knowing when to go borrow it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where to find. Yeah.
So how does that, what sort of skills are different from, that changes, that's a completely different paradigm.
Yeah, it will make some people uncomfortable, right? Because you kind of have an identity in the professional world. What you know is kind of what your identity. But it might be transitioned to what you care about, what you actually deliver. It's no longer about what you know or what you're trained for. So it's going to be a little bit of a change for all of us.
Wow.
But I think that's upcoming. That's not up to us. It's here. Like we need to
Embrace
adopt.
it.
Yeah, exactly. We need to change ourselves.
So it's the knowledge of knowing when you're going to need different pieces of expertise is probably going to trump having the actual knowledge, because it's impossible to have all the actual knowledge that like an AI system would have. But understanding when we need, what we need, and how to apply it is going to be more important, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So we're not really writing ourselves out of a job. We're changing the way we operate. Is that right?
That's how I think about it. I get a lot of questions from my friends because like I'm the one that working in this data science and AI field. They're like, what do you think? Do you think that AI is going to take over? I feel like it needs to be a complete sentence. AI is going to take over blah. It's going to take over certain aspects or really taking care of certain aspects. But I don't think it's going to take over our lives. Just think about it, right? Like it's kind of now everyone can be a CEO and you can have a very effective assistant that help you to achieve your goals faster and more efficiently. So how are you going to interact with your assistant? You're probably not going to ask your junior assistant, just write my statement of the company mission or strategy for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
The way that, especially nowadays, or maybe like in the next 5 years, the way that we interact with our AI systems will be breaking things into tasks. I heard one of the one of the CES talks this year, and the discussion was mostly about jobs are broken down into tasks. And AI might be taking over certain tasks, but the intention behind tasks and the sequence of the tasks, that needs much more understanding of why are we doing it and how we're doing it. Those are the strategic things that the boss is driving it, but just more of us will be our own boss.
Right.
We will figure out what we want to achieve, and we will effectively using these new tools to achieve it.
Wow. Very interesting. So to wrap up, what final piece of advice would you give to our listeners about this movement where AI is reducing barriers to entry in data science?
Like what you said already, embrace it.
Embrace it.
It's here. It's here. When someone invented a calculator, you no longer need to do those calculations anymore. When someone has such a great tool for you to free up and think more about what you really cares, what you really want to do, bring yourself up one level and think about what really matters, what really make you satisfactory about your job, and care more about specific tasks. There are lots of tools, lots of platforms or AI that can help you to do that.
Right.
So embrace the change.
Embrace it and really get into it. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much to Hua Ai, General Manager of Predictive Modeling at Delta Airlines.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.